Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. Here is an exam Sudoku puzzle that was created by Swiss author Markus Roth for the round 5 of WPF Sudoku Grand Prix in 2022. And this is one of my favorite variations on Sudoku. Actually, there's one big category of preferred variations, which are the ones with arithmetics. And you have numbers outside the grid, and those numbers are the sum of the first few digits. For example, 10 could be the sum of the first 3 digits, and that's the case. And the number of digits to take into account is the first digit that you see. So a 3 here would mean that those 3 digits have a sum of 10, and those 3 digits have a sum of 20, which here would be possible, I guess. Well, we'll have to see what happens. It was worth 50 points, which indicates intermediate difficulty, but this is the kind of puzzle that I do very thoroughly in the round. Let's have a look at this 7. 7 can only be the sum of 2 digits. That's the only way to fulfill this. And I think I'll use some color. Alright, I didn't think of making this in advance, so this 7 is now fulfilled. And let's go back to Sudoku. 6 here can be made in 2 fashions. One of them is to have a 2 followed by a 4. And the other way is to have a 3 followed by a 1 and a 2. So we have a 2 or a 3 here, and it's the same here. 10 can be made in several fashions. One would be a 2 with an 8, but this wouldn't work because we would have to put 8 in here, which is definitely impossible. A 3 here can be placed with yes, I think that's a possibility. And another possibility is a 4 with 3 other digits adding up to 20, and here we would have 1, 2, and 3, except that neither of those digits would work with 39. So this is definitely a 3, and that's a 2, and that's a 4. And this 3 goes with 8 and 9. That's the only way to make 17 more in 2 cells. But 9 here would mean that we take into account all cells, but the sum would then be 45 and not 40. So this is 8, this is 9, and so those 8 digits add up to 40, which means that this is a 5. And we can say that this 6, this 40, this 10, and this 20 are fulfilled. Not this 10 yet, but we can have a quick look at it. Actually, the only options initially for 9 are 2 and 3. 2 with a 7, and we'll see that this is the only correct way, and 3 is no more available, so that's a 2 and a 7, and this 9 is fulfilled. And now this 10 can't be with 2 or 3 digits, so it has to be with a 4. What am I doing? So it will be with the 4, and it's completed with 1, 2, and 3. And something interesting is this 39. It means that the first few digits add up to 39, and since the sum of the whole row is 45, it means that at the other end we must have a sum of 6 at some point, which means that this is a 2. The sum of 6 is with the last 2 digits, so 39 is the sum of the first 7 digits. Next, this 10 needs a 5 to be fulfilled, and the remaining 3 digits here are 1, 4, and 6. This is not 4, so there's a 4 somewhere here. 4 wouldn't be enough here, so we have a 4 somewhere here. Next place of interest, Something interesting here is that this 6 and this 39 have a total sum of 45, which is the sum of all digits, which means that the first few digits here and the other digits are, how do we call that? They are split in two parts, the one that added to 6 and the other one to 39. Oh, and this 4 is not here, so this can't be a 2. That's a 3 with 1 and 2, so that's 1, that's 2. And 39 is the sum of the remaining 6 digits. So the beginning is going well. Here we need 1, 7, 8, and 9. But here this can only be a 7. 1 is obviously not good. 9 is not good because the sum would be 45. And 8 would mean that the last digit is 14, which is not allowed. So that's a 7. And it means that the remaining 2 digits here have a sum of 14 without using the 5. So they are a 6-8 pair. And this 39 is now fulfilled. Here we need 1, 8, and 9. And let's have a look at this 31. 31, it means that the digits at the end must have a sum of 14, which wouldn't work with a 6 here or a 6 there. So that's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 6, and now we have 14 here. That's a 3, that's the 1. 14 here, meaning that 31 is the sum of the remaining digits. That's a 6. 23 here is not the sum of 6 or 5 digits. 3 digits would not be enough. 3 plus 8 plus 9 would be 20. So that must be the sum of 4 digits. And we have another 19 here. And there seems to be some choice for that. But this 4 removes this possibility, and that's a 4. We still have 17, which can be the sum of 4 digits or 5 digits, and I don't think I can decide on that right now. I see that there's a 1 somewhere here. I was about to do some logical leap, which would have been bad. There must be a 7 somewhere here, a 2 somewhere here, and the other 2 digits are 5 and 8, so 5 can't be here, so that's actually a 5-7 pair. And a 2-8 pair here, which rows 8 out of those cells, so that's an 8 and that's a 1, and that's a 9. It's always a good idea to do some Sudoku logic at some point. That's a 3-4 pair. This can only be a 7 or an 8. 4 can only be here on this row. This 16 can't be the sum of 4, can only be the sum of 3 digits. So we need another 13 without using 6 or 8, so there must be 4 and 9. Oops, that's not what I intended. That's what I intended. Now there's an 8 here that must appear somewhere on this row, only this cell will work. There's something interesting here. This 33 needs 12 on the other end. 12 with 8, but the 4 is not next to the 8, and the only way of achieving 12 is to put 1 and 3 here. So 3 digits are missing. This is a 6, and this 33 is fulfilled. So we are almost there now. Here we need 6, 7, and 9. This can't be a 6 or a 7, so that's a 9. And this doesn't say anything, I'm afraid. 4, 9. 4, actually 4 is here, 9 is somewhere here, and the remaining digits, there must be an 8 here. This is 5 or 6. And something we can note is that a 9 here would be disastrous, because we would have 13, at least 18, with a 4th digit. That would be really too much. So this can't be 9, that's a 9, that's an 8, and this is 5 or 6, so that's a total of 15, and this must be a 2 to achieve this 17. Here we have 13, we need another 10 here, 6 and 4 is not allowed, so it must be 7 and 3. Now this 23 is fulfilled, and the rest should be plain Sudoku. 5 and 6 here, so that's a 7, that's a 5, that can only be an 8, that's a 7, that's a 6. This 9 disambiguates the 4-9 pair, this 4 bounces back to this setting, this 9 puts a 1 here, that's a 9, here we need a 1 and a 7, here we need a 2 somewhere, it's here, and a 5, 6, 5 here, so that's 8, that's 6, that's 2, that's 8, this can only be a 9, here we need a 6, it's here, and that's a 5, this must be 7 and 9, so 9 and 7, this must be 3 and 8, this here is a 3, so this 3, 8 is disambiguated, 8 here, 8 there, that's 8, I need a 5 somewhere, it's here, and that's a 9, here I need 1, 7, that's not 1 or 7, so that's a 6, 7 is here, that's a 1, the last one, the last 5, and that's a 2, and that's it. Very nice puzzle. I think the way I solved it shows how it was constructed, more or less. The solving path is somewhat tight, I think, but it's very well telegraphed, I should say, and there's really no need for for bifurcation. That's really neat logic. I really like this kind of puzzles. That's my favorite area of points in Sudoku Grand Prix. Thanks for watching this video. See you soon on SudoKanard.